Hey, how's it going out there? We are live on Patriots Inside the Wire. Go ahead and share. Get your friends. Get on this. We're going to play our intro, and we have something coming up for you that's coming out very hot. I've listened to it. It gave me chills. See you in the show.
Giving a voice to the voiceless. We share the stories behind our freedoms and the ultimate sacrifice of those who protect us all. This is Patriots Inside the Wire.
Patriot is someone who was willing to give his life for his country and served honorably in Iraq.
Signed our names with no regrets. Only wanted to be the best that we could be. And we wanted this and nothing more than to be true down to the core. We thought we'd live forever, but when the full moon is bright and the wind blows just right, I can hear your voice on the wind.
I should have left it. I think that on a perfect day, really. But you know what? It's really more of all these words out here.
21 guns into the night till we meet again on the other side. 21 guns, this is goodbye till we meet again on the other side. Yeah, 21 guns.
Beautiful thing to see the family and friends come together and honor his life and his service to our country. It's great to see you guys out here. This is awesome, really.
Welcome to the Patriots Inside the Wire broadcast, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two-Step.
Well, we're back. Thanks for joining us. I'm just going to get right into it. We're going to bring our guests up first. Monday nights host.
Hey, what's up, girl?
Heather Baker.
Hey.
Moms. How are you doing, girl?
I'm doing great here in Lubbock, Texas. How are you doing, girl?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, as much as I've been like trying to switch gears. Gold Star Mom, politics, music.
Yeah, well, you seem like you're shining. So
I'm like, ooh, I'm all good.
Have you been getting some sun out there in the heat in the middle of Texas?
It has been cloudy here, so
well, that's nice, actually. A reprieve from where it was when I was there. So
we have two special things going on, Heather. Number one, you're about to meet a veteran. Listen up, everybody, to this. I've always said it. Heather's heard me say this all the time. When you mix a veteran that meets a Gold Star family mom, whichever the dad, family mom. So let's use me as an example right now. When I meet a veteran that steps up to go do something and they're like there for you, like you are with them. They are your unit. They are your troop, because we get ripped right out. Well, the person that's about to come on, Chris Turner, I'm going to let him talk about his military instead of me. But what I'm going to tell you before I bring him on is this individual, this veteran, is the veteran who has literally driven to pick me up. And then on the way to a Stop 22 location with some friends to play, which I know them as well, in Columbia, Tennessee. And that's where my little brother, Heather, took his life.
Oh, my goodness.
And I had no clue until we were about there, and then he mentioned the name on the phone, and it just clicked. And then
Yeah.
I got there, and I was like, "Wait, I'm okay." Like, so without knowing
Angels.
it, right? Without knowing it,
Angels.
Turner
God, I love it.
even got me.
They're here.
I wouldn't have gone. Like, it's nowhere I would have gone unless someone physically got me and took me. But the beauty of it was being around them and being there was like my brother was there. So
Absolutely.
amazing. I'm going to bring him in. What we also have is a song. So we have the Star Spangled Banner, but I want Turner up. There you are. There is Mr. Chris Turner. Everybody out there.
Hello,
Chris?
ladies. How are y'all?
Well,
What's
howdy.
up?
What's happening?
Oh, a
Happy to
lot.
see you.
Yeah,
Happy to have
it's
you
a
on.
pleasure. I
Thank you.
appreciate you guys having me on tonight. It really means the world to me. You know, it's like we were talking about earlier before the show, man. I'm really stoked. Got this new EP out called For the Country, man. It dropped Friday. The pre-sale did, and I wrote it with a buddy of mine named Frankie Jean Courtney, and we both were writing for a publishing company at the time called SB21 downtown, and he came to me. Actually, it was last I think it was last June. He's like, "Man, we need to get this out by 4th of July," and I was like, we're gonna have to do some work on it. So we sat down and we rewrote it, and I fell in love with it. And the next thing I know, I'm going in the studio with my guys, and we cut it, and it turned out great, man. I mean, it's you know, you think about it from the song title, just calls me being a veteran and whatnot. You would think it's about specifically about the veteran community, which it is. And you talking about Gold Star Moms, you know, the guy Rocky who I use in the song, I met his family. His name's Rocky Zanowick, and I met his family at a veteran event up in Ohio. And Rocky lost his life in combat in Afghanistan, and I thought, what better way to memorialize
Oh,
him than put
yeah.
his name in the song? So, but the storyline is my story in chronological order. You know, from volunteering for the Marine Corps, coming to Nashville to play songs, and it's just it really came together really nicely, man. I'm really proud of it.
All right. I'm going to.
So thank y'all for having me on and promoting it, man. It means the world to me.
That's awesome.
Of
I love
course.
hearing all about this. Hey, did you record in Nashville, or I mean, tell us about like I'm interested because
Well, and your military. Like,
but what about Texas? Do you have Texas roots somewhere in there?
I don't
yes.
have any Texas roots. The only guy
No,
I got,
okay. For some reason, I thought that you did. Why am I thinking that?
no,
It's
He
just
does. He does.
I
We're
love
just not letting
Texas.
it out. He does.
And there's a lot of people that I know in town that are from Texas,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's amazing how things from Texas just keep popping up in my lap, right? So I've played shows in Texas, and I love coming to Texas. But to answer your question, do I have any roots in Texas? No, but yes,
Okay.
I live right outside
Yeah,
of
you do.
Nashville.
Why?
We
Chris.
record all of our
Tracy.
music in Nashville.
Heather,
What are you saying?
I'm helping him. Chris, you have roots here. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You've got roots
But
here. Okay.
I do
Like,
have a cousin.
literally.
I do have a cousin that lives right outside of Houston, though. I
Yeah.
mean, she's from
Okay.
here, but she moved right outside of Houston.
We'll
But
just put it out there. So what I'm working on literally will involve Chris Turner. And so Chris Turner has roots here. So in order for what's happening in our music world, everybody out there, if you're thinking you need to run off to Nashville, I'm going to say, hold on. And I got other advice depending on who you are. Someone like Chris Turner that I know very well. He's a veteran who's been around me, taking care of me literally, has roots here because the person that's here in Texas, I need you to have roots here. So no matter what, you got roots. It's right here with your Gold Star sister. How's that?
There you go.
Anything that makes it work.
I love Texas, though, man. It's a great. It's like being in a country. It's like another country in itself.
For
I
sure.
mean, it's really cool.
But Tennessee is so beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, I live right outside of Nashville, and we record all our music in Nashville. And I mean, you know, you talk about why people move to Nashville. You move here primarily for the network, because I mean, I hardly ever play downtown. Maybe
For sure.
6 or 7 times a year. The rest of the time, I'm on the road, and it's just the path that I chose. A lot of people get stuck on Broadway, not stuck, but they make a living on Broadway, and that's what they do. But for me, I wanted to go out and record my own music and just see what the world thought of it. And so far, I ain't been booed off a stage, so I think we're doing our job.
Oh yeah, man. You're amazing.
Well,
I
thank
mean,
you. I
you really are.
appreciate
You
it.
have, I mean, what an amazing ear, and I love all the music that I've listened to. I had to download the Apple app just to get a listen to your two EPs that you've released. Do It for the Country and Cowboy Like That, and they are phenomenal. So I'm really excited for everybody else to hear them.
Yeah, the
And
great thing about that Cowboy Like That song, man, is
We
it's
gotcha.
actually on hold with
All right.
Yellowstone right now. So hopefully it'll hit for
I
the
got
last
ya.
season of Yellowstone. So we'll see.
nice, really.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is amazing. What an amazing opportunity.
And
yeah.
that's what I need to talk to you about after the show, hun. Let's do this. We have Bree Steiner. She has sent in her Star Spangled Banner. We're going to play that really quick. They are listening, and that when I say they, I mean Hero Stock, and that's another thing that Chris is involved with. So I'm going to play this really quick. And it's up to each person. To me, we are all just here enjoying what we've got going on. So we'll get to Chris's, but I did want to get this out. It is from Bree Steiner. The name of her band is a great one. So, but for right now, we've got Mrs. Bree Steiner. Brielle's her name. Let's listen to this. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much for that. Shout out to Mrs. Bree Steiner.
Say, can
It's
you
still going.
see
We love our
by the
Spangled Banner. We're gonna have a
That was
chat.
beautiful.
You like it? Did y'all like that?
That was beautiful.
It was very beautiful. That is, we got
Thank you, Bree.
Bree is. Do you know Bree Turner?
No, negative.
Okay, she is, and I'm not messing with these boxes, everybody. So, because it makes my head spin, just try to bear with whatever's happening on them. Chris, why don't we start out with this? So, you were in the Marines for a while. So, am I right when I say corporal?
Yes, I was a corporal in the Marine Corps. I got out. I did 4 years. Yeah, I was in communication. I'll preface this with, I'm not a combat veteran. I'm not. I mean, I deployed, but I was not deployed in combat in a hot zone. But
Okay.
my units got deployed right after I got out, and a lot of the guys that I served with either came back wounded or didn't come back at all. And
Yeah.
a lot of people look at you like, because whenever you get out and you're in that situation, it's like you hate it because it's like you trained that long, and then once you get out, they turn the wick wide open, and you can't be a part of it to be out there with your team, man, because it's literally a family. I mean, it really is. So, but yeah, it was pretty pretty surreal to talk to some of the Marines that I served with, and right after I got out, and then they came back and I talked to them. So, but yeah, I was in communications. I did telephone lines and radios and things of that nature. But all Marines are basic riflemen. We're all 0311s. So,
Mhm.
but I enjoyed it, man. It really changed my life, and it gave me some direction and gave me a lot of grit and the drive and the determination that I have now. So I took that and applied it to my music. So that's, yeah, it was great.
And
well,
you're out in, now I know where you're at now. We're outside the Nashville area, but where did you actually grow up? Did you grow up anywhere around Tennessee?
No, I grew up in a little town called 96, South Carolina, man. We had 2 red lights, a Hardee's, and a Piggly Wiggly. And I told my mama when I got home from the Corps, I was like, I done stretched enough barbed wire and slung enough square bells. I think I'm gonna write and sing songs about it. So
yeah, I love it.
I moved to Nashville, and I've been up here bending strings and chasing dreams ever since, man.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
songs and stories. 3 chords and the truth.
yeah, that's it.
That's right.
And yeah, I put that. Oddly enough, I wrote a song about that too. So yeah, it's that's another song I'm really proud of on this EP that you guys will get on July 28th. It's a song called Keith, and it's a tribute to Keith Whitley, and it's
Okay.
very raw. It's very organic, and I mean it's a really great song, man. It's very well written, and I'm very, very proud of it. So can't
I
wait for you
can't wait
guys to
to
hear that
hear
one.
it.
Where can we find that song, Chris?
It'll
Oh,
be
well, right now my For the Country EP is on pre-sale on iTunes. So you got to go to iTunes
Right.
to download it. And you get
Right.
2 instant gratification tracks, which is For the Country and Cowboy Like That. But then the other 4 that will release on July 28th is my version of All in the Same Boat, which I did a version with Smo, but this one's my studio cut. Then you've got a song called Scars that I wrote with a buddy of mine named Ryan Larkins. And then
Yeah.
a song called Keith that I wrote with a young lad named Cooper Lane. And then a song called Let It All Out, a buddy of mine named Bill DeLuigi wrote. And it's, yeah, it's this is
I
this
cannot
is
wait
probably
to hear these.
my best work to date, man. I'm very proud of it. And the cool thing is like we're gonna get through this and we're gonna take these 6 songs and add about 6 more to it in the fall, and then we're coming out with a full record. So
I want
I'm
you to
really
come out to Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock.
Yes, you got to
Yes,
come out to
I'd
Lubbock,
love to play
Texas.
Lubbock.
Buddy Holly.
Have
Yeah,
you ever
yeah,
been
that's right.
out the Austin way or anywhere in
No,
in
the farthest I
Texas?
got in Texas was Houston,
Oh,
Galveston,
all
Oyster
right.
Creek, Lake Jackson, all up and down that seaboard.
Yep.
Yeah, I was down through there playing shows, but
Well,
that's I guess the
come
middle of
on
Texas
out.
is
We've
just kind
got.
of allergic to me. I don't know what it is.
Oh, really?
I
Ah,
know.
come on. Give us another
Texas
chance.
is a different world, man, especially when it comes to music.
Is
I
it?
mean, if you're out,
Very true statement. And that's why I keep telling you, you have
yeah.
roots here and just kind of follow me. And you definitely have roots here. So I'm trying to keep you in with what I'm
We got
doing.
roots here in Lubbock, Texas, and
You got them in Austin. You got roots in a few places.
right.
Chris, I've got a couple of things out here. I mean,
Been adopted.
there you go. You're now in our unit.
But we got some great places out here in Lubbock, Texas to play, and especially in Austin. So you really should put us back on the map.
Chris
one
is
of
going
my
to.
places on my bucket list in Texas, man, is Billy Bob's. I really want to play Billy Bob's.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
That would.
I've got friends that's played there, and they've told me all about it. But I'm just like, man, it's about like I got friends that played the Ryman. You can talk about it, but until you stand on the hardwood, man, it's just a different story.
Right. There's
Got
just
it.
some places that you want to check out, and there's a lot of great ones here in Texas. But man, Tennessee is pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, I love it here, man. It's great, and I play a lot in Tennessee. I play a lot all over the country. I mean, it's last year we were up in North Dakota and South Dakota playing for the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association. So we're
yeah.
always doing whatever we can, man, to try to spread the word, spread the music.
Nice.
And what do you consider the word to be?
For me, I think all therapy is through music. So for
Yeah.
me, whenever I write, that's my therapy. Whenever I'm on stage in front of a microphone and I've got like a 3-foot circle in diameter, man, that is my safe place. That's my sanctuary.
Yeah.
Because I know while I'm there, everybody's there to watch what I've got to deliver. And then that's where I get to show you a piece of my soul. And for me to be able to do that means the world to me because there's a lot of me that I don't share with anybody.
Yeah.
So that's For
I
me,
agree.
at the end of
Yeah,
the day, music is healing. It truly is. No matter
absolutely.
whether you're a veteran, whether you're pissed off at the world or whatever, there's always a song somewhere that can identify with somebody's soul.
Definitely. You know me, I say music is medicinal. I like everybody that comes around me. It's just, I'm going to get on a shirt. Music is medicinal. It's
No,
kind of my
exactly.
therapy.
It's just like if you're coming
Here,
out of the gym, man, and you got your AirPods in, and that one track hits, and when that track hits, and you're just sitting there like, I want to go another 5 minutes, man.
that's
Come on.
right.
I mean, it's or whether you're walking out of your brother's funeral, and you're on the way home after the procession and all that stuff, and then a song comes on that's just like, you know
Yeah.
what? Life sucks right now, but it's gonna get better. I mean, it's just there's always a song for everything.
And they just speak to our hearts in such different powerful
Yeah.
ways, music does. And even music that doesn't have words, it's just such a great way just to be and just meditate. And I highly recommend just picking up a guitar or just using your voice, just to,
Mhm.
it's, people are like, I'm not a good singer. It doesn't matter. Come on, just sing. Just, uh,
Yeah.
vibrate those vocal cords and feel better. It's a great way to just feel better, to lift your spirits. So, but
Yeah,
I was
I'm
going
the
to
kind of
say,
guy, man, to where I just want to touch as many people as I can, and then that whenever I know that I've reached my limitations for touching as many people as I can, then it's finished, you know. But I don't know that it'll ever be finished. Will I pull back one day and just like maybe not do as many shows? Probably. But it'll never be finished, man. I'll be writing and singing and playing until the day I take my
but
last breath. They can't count on me.
I love your empathy. Like you just like,
Yeah.
even though like you said, hey, I'm not a combat vet, or whatever, but I saw all these guys come back, with their
Or
different
not. Yeah.
wounds, and you keep giving back.
Yeah.
And being that unbroken chain, that link. And that's so important. And so
Well,
I just
something
love
that's really
that.
cool is I didn't even mention this, man. This album that I released is on a label called Label 22, and
Yes.
we are all a bunch of Stephen
I was,
Cochran started it, and he's a Marine. Sal
Right.
Gonzalez is on it. He's an amputee. He's a Marine
yes,
Corps veteran.
that
Doc
is
Malachi,
amazing.
Doc Gaskins is an Army doc. He was deployed. So we're all. It's kind of like this music mafia movement they had back in the early 2000s, where it's like, hey man, we're a bunch of vets and we know what we're doing. Don't forget about us. So that's
Yeah.
the way we're trying to bring it and raise awareness and raise attention to it. It's just a
Well,
bunch of
heck
vets
yeah,
getting together.
man. We
Yeah,
need to join forces
yeah.
for Patriot
And
Fest. We
and
need to
talk
do
about
a
hero
Patriot
stuff.
Fest in
Scotty
Tennessee.
Hastings is playing it, and Scotty Hastings came up through the Stop
Yeah.
22 movement
He's
like we
like,
did, and
yes,
now he's with
man.
Black River.
He's been on here. Yeah. He's a good
Yeah,
friend too. We all know. Well, I guess what I would say is the Stop 22 is between Turner, Doc, Cochran, Brian, who am I leaving
yeah,
out? I don't want to leave out somebody. It was Sal.
yeah,
I love it.
Sal, yeah. So the Stop 22 tour, and I remember being there in Nashville, and there was just a lot of changes happening. It's a lot of commercial areas. So for the Stop 22, you grabbed me and we went because it is the thing to do. And it was just the place that it was like the night that it happens. And it doesn't matter if it's 2 people, it doesn't matter if it's 200. You still go do that in honor of those who aren't
yeah.
here.
To be realistic, man, we talk about Stop 22 and Label 22 and the Stop 22 movement. We're never gonna stop 22, man. But I told myself early on, if I could stop one, then I did my job. Because I can tell
Absolutely.
you right now, and we can get into this story another time, but there is one of my Marines that I couldn't stop. And that's where my story starts.
Yeah.
But that's for another
That's
show.
very powerful. And that's
Yeah.
so powerful. And look at what you've done. And you're still giving back and inspiring others and showing incredible empathy. And so
Just moving on the vehicle, I feel like the good Lord blessed me with, man. You know,
I
long as
agree
he
with
keeps
that.
putting gas in the tank, I'm gonna keep driving.
yeah.
Well,
Right on.
Chris,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
I know about that's coming up, where are you playing at next before I get into that?
Well, tomorrow, I don't. You guys remember who Trailer Choir is? Big Benny and Butter. So Butter's been a friend of mine for years, and he hit me up today. He started this new thing called the Butter Bash, and it's a game show. So he has like DJ, and he'll have
Oh my
comedians and
gosh.
stuff, and he's got live music. So tomorrow he hit me up today and said, "Hey man, you want to come play the Butter Bash tomorrow?" So I'm going down there tomorrow, and
Yes.
then Friday, actually VFW Post 12206 is opening a new post in conjunction with Heroes Den Bar down in Murfreesboro. It's the grand
Oh,
opening to kick it
I
off.
love Heroes Den.
Yeah, it's a great spot. So they bought a
Yeah,
new
it is.
place, and it's going to be a grand opening. And then next, let's see, the 19th, 20th, 21st. Next Sunday, I'm playing the Mockingbird Theater in Franklin, Tennessee with my buddy Sal Gonzalez.
Woo!
So we've got
Next
to.
Sunday?
So you guys give a shout. Anybody that's in Middle Tennessee, man, go buy tickets. Tickets are going fast. It's me and Sal, and it's going to be a great show. I'm really
people.
excited about it.
Tell
What
me
is
again.
he?
Say it
You
again.
said Sal. What is his name again?
Sal
Sal
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Sal Gonzalez. What does
It's
he
like-
play?
He's an artist, and he plays guitar, and he man, that boy's got a voice of an angel, man. It's like
He's
Chris
good.
Stapleton meets Teddy Swims. I mean,
So
he's
you
freaking
guys
amazing.
are gonna just kill it, man.
Yeah, he's well, yeah. I always love doing shows with Sal, man. He's
How
a
fun.
brother, and
Yeah, Matthew.
we've went to the very
I'm
very
trying to
dark
talk
edges
to
of the
you.
earth together, man. And I
Yeah.
love him to death. But
He's amazing. I just had a phone call with him. It all went great. Tell me again the name of the location you're singing at in Franklin, because I do have a lot of people in that vicinity, literally, who are going to want to hear it.
It's
So say
called
that again.
the Mockingbird Theater.
Yeah, and it's right in the square,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's in the square.
It's actually at the Franklin Mill, where they've
I
got
know
the
what you're
mill and they
talking
redid the mill and all that stuff. Yeah, that's where it's at.
It's this Sunday.
Next Sunday, July 28th.
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So we've
Oh,
got
I'm going to
that.
come.
We got that, and then the following week, August the 3rd, we're at Hero Stock. And I'm
Yeah,
really
we were going to
excited
get
about
into that
Hero
in a
Stock,
second,
man.
too.
It was great whenever Jason and everybody reached out to me to do it, because Scotty's on it. My good friend Barbara Sims, she's on it. Doc's on it. I'm on it. I'm trying to figure out who else, man. It's just like there's so many of us veterans, man, that's involved in it. And the weird thing is like you live in Nashville and you don't live 15 minutes from somebody, but you know when you really see them? When you're 7 hours away on a show doing load-in.
Right.
I did a show with Tracy Lawrence last year, man, and I'm up there, man, and I've known those guys for years, and I'm like, haven't seen them in 5 or 6 since the last time we did a show together, because we all get so busy.
Right.
You know, you hit the road, and he's going this way, you're going that way, and it's somewhere in the middle. You meet up, and it's like, hey, brother, what's going on?
That is so amazing.
It's
It is
insane,
amazing.
man.
We have a couple of
Serendipitous,
messages
you know,
here.
really.
It
couple of
truly is a
messages I wanna
crazy
get
town,
to.
man. It really
Let me
is.
get to some of your messages, Turner. You've got right now Matthew. I play for Hero Stock. Matthew Jones, who is shouting out to you, and he says, "My experiences gave me something to say, and God gave me a way to say it, and that means singing." He says he loves Scotty, our Scotty that we know, and he's playing Hero Stock. You should know him.
Awesome, man.
Hey,
Sweet.
Looking forward to seeing you. It's going to be a good
He's
time.
listening. He's listening right now. And then we have Hero Stock itself, the founder. He's in here listening. That is Mr. Jason Steiner. We'll be doing his show next week. So next week we'll be hearing a lot about Hero Stock.
I'm so excited.
The flyer, I'm not kidding. There's maybe 1 or 2 people on that flyer that I don't know. So I was like, how's this going to be fair? So I was like, listen, I've already got something going with Turner. So it's been in the works. I'm going to keep him on my Monday night right here, because this is someone who steps up, steps in. I'm not saying the others don't, because I haven't met you, but I've talked to you, but only through like platforms. But of course, you know, I've got Turner coming, and I'm going to leave you here. Like, you'll get double the exposure out of it. So we wanted to make sure to do that.
And the Hero Stock's going to be awesome, man. I'm really excited about it. I hate to keep going back to it, but it's going to be really cool.
We're going to be in it a lot next week. Hero Stock is the 28th Wait, give me the date. 28th. No, sorry, August 3rd.
August 3rd.
You're
August 3rd.
playing Mockingbird Theater, the 28th
28th,
in
yeah.
Franklin. And then
Right.
August 3rd is Hero Stock, everybody. You can literally look it up, herostock.com. But we will be doing shows next week, 2 or 3 of them, literally. So, Heather, next Monday, you'll get to meet Jason Steiner from Hero Stock and a couple of
Yay.
artists.
I'm so
But I
excited.
was on the phone with Scotty Hastings. Remember, we were supposed to be chilling and not working on a Sunday, Turner. Sometimes you got to pick up the phone when it's a certain thing, right? So,
And truth be told, man, to get in touch with just about any musician about the best day to do it is probably Sunday.
it is.
Sunday
It
or Monday.
is. Yeah.
Tuesday, you're going over fine threads. Wednesday, you're packing, and Thursday, you're out.
You're gone. I know. That's
Yeah.
why I was
Life on the
I
road.
grabbed it and I was like, I still need to talk to Karen though. So I'll be doing that. Before we go back to Hero Stock, Heather mentioned something that we want to make sure is out there too. And I've talked to Steiner about this. So Patriot Fest is a part of something that has been started in Texas and will start literally playing from Texas, then to Tennessee. 2 reasons. One, I grew up in Tennessee and that's my stomping grounds. Number 2, I live in Texas right now. So both places I go back and forth. So we're going to hit Texas. We're going to hit places like Lubbock. Lubbock does have an event coming up, I think August 24th, Heather, right? August 24th. We've got Danny. He was just on the show. He's got
Danny
something.
Condra. He'll be playing at the Blue Lights.
Yes. So Patriot Fest is going to get going. And this is not just one genre, by the way. It's not like it's just going to be country or it's just going to be one area. It's what people are like, what kind of music do you like? I'm like, good music. Like,
Well, bring in Mr. 305 worldwide.
I like your answer. I like your answer.
Have Pitbull and Jared Neiman and Blake and all of them do a collab, man, right there on the stage in front of everybody. Yes,
Yeah.
I said collab.
Collab.
It's a country thing. I promise you, I'll do it in here. People sometimes send me a message, Tracy. You are this is Phil right here saying hi. Hi, Phil. He is our volunteer coordinator out there in Tennessee for Patriot Fest and Patriots Inside the Wire. So Phil
Thank
is
you.
a veteran. He is part of our foundation, which is Fallen Heroes National Foundation. Again, Fallen Heroes National Foundation and Gold Star Family Foundation. We're looking for scholarships to siblings. So the siblings, we don't really think about the siblings at home that, we have young men or women joining. I personally live this. So does Heather. It's like, we got to start doing something for the families and like making everybody come together. And so the happy place seems to be, let's get with our veterans, let's get what they're working on. And then we all have a unit and we all are like happy and music.
We're just all just looking for a little bit more support and we're all just trying to hang in there together,
Right.
And so we
Well,
can
it's
do
funny
that.
you say about the families, man, because I'm involved with a nonprofit out of Birmingham, Alabama called Warriors on Mission. And we shot a documentary last year, and it's called The Warrior Family Trauma Comes Home. And what they've done is not only for the veterans, but they've written a 10-week curriculum to teach siblings and family members how to deal with PTSD after they lose their loved ones.
That
So
is
before that, as a
amazing.
precursor, they wrote a curriculum called the Hope Curriculum, talks about healing, opportunity, peace, and empowerment, to where veterans can become leaders and lead their veteran brothers and sisters through a 10-week curriculum on how to deal with PTSD and more
I
injury
love
after.
that.
So we go across the country and they'll teach classes, and in the middle of that, I'll play songs and tell them my story, and then we'll go on to the next city. And if where we're at, if they complete the education, then Warriors on Mission will send me and my guys to do a full-fledged, full production concert for them. So it's a really cool mission that I'm glad to be a part of. Yeah.
What is it called again?
It's warriorsonmission.org is the website.
warriorsonmission.org. And that will stay here. Remember, everybody, after in here live, this goes out to a podcast. So whenever I say anything, I'm going to It's Warriors. Let's say it again, Heather, because when you're driving and listening to us,
warriorsonAmission.org.
there you got it. She did it.
There's a radio voice.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Live,
folks.
119.4
Yeah.
only.
I
Hurry
can do it.
fast,
I
like
get
Nick Clay.
teased. I get teased so much. They're like, wait, how many voices do you have? Depends.
I wanted to give my favorite Chris Turner quote so far.
Okay.
Ahem. I put on
Uh-oh.
my glasses so I can see what I've written down. But I did take notes. Says, I love art. There's nothing more badass than painting a canvas with a 6-string. I love that quote.
True story.
Love it. I
Tell
love
me,
it, I love it,
tell
I
me
love it.
more about just like playing guitar in general, because I'm a guitar player myself, and I have my own like story with the 6-string. So
Yeah.
tell
Well,
me
see,
a little more.
in Nashville, for me, living where I live and what I do, I'm not a guitar player.
Okay.
I play guitar. There's a
Yeah,
huge
you're
difference.
not bad. You're good.
No, I'm saying I play guitar. I'm not a guitar player. I hire my lead guitar player to be a guitar player, but I play
Okay.
guitar to compliment him. Right? But
it's a handy
yeah,
tool to write music and things, right?
it is, man. And I mean, I can play rhythm guitar with the best of them, man. But like, you know, I've seen the best of the best here in town who are like very technical guitar players, and I pride
Yeah.
myself
It's
with one that I found who is my my band in my band. So, but yeah, for me, you know, it all started when I was a teenager. I just started writing poems or songs or whatever you want to call them on paper, and I put them in a folder about this thick, and I still got the folder upstairs. And then I moved to town. You know, whenever I was in the Marine Corps, I got my first guitar and sat there for 12 hours trying to figure out how to upstrum. Man, my fingers started bleeding. And I was like, okay, I got it now. And then I just kept going after it. And I would take some of those songs and some of those poems, and I would put it with the music that I was playing. And you know, I've always been a huge Straight fan. Cash, Hag, Merle, Willie, Waylon, all those guys, man, because I'm a huge fan of the song. I love a great song, and I'm such a lyric snob. I didn't used to be that way, but now I am. So with that folder that I got, you know, there was I think it was a YouTube video that I watched on Songwrite when I first came to town, and there was a guy named Pat Pattinson out of Berkeley, out of Boston College of Music, and he said something that stuck with me. He's like, "Man, write 100 songs because crap makes the best fertilizer." And
That's right, man.
he didn't
Ooh, I love that.
crap. I just used the PG version because we're on the air.
Yeah, guidelines. Yeah,
But
we can't.
I still use that with, you know, I'll have people send me songs, because anybody who sends me something who says it's a song, I'll look at the lyrics and I'll listen to it. I don't care who you are, because there never was anybody that would critique me. So
I got a couple for you.
And I'll ask them. I'm like, hey, are you sure you want me to listen to this? Are you sure you want me to look at it? Because
Okay,
I'm telling you
well,
right now, I'm gonna
I'm gonna
give you
send you
honest
some
feedback.
songs then.
Yeah,
She
and
will.
I'll sit there and they'll send me 7.5 minutes of music with about I'm like, hey man, you trying to write a song?
You got to cut that down
not a short
in
story,
half.
brother. Yeah, and I'm
or
like,
more, like a
and it's it's
2.5
all about,
minutes.
and that's the thing about
Remember them. as
that quote
children.
that you mentioned earlier. You know, music is music, but art is art. And everybody has a different brush, and everybody has a different canvas, and
Yep.
everybody paints it completely different. I know what I like, and I know what I know that I've seen work, but it doesn't mean that, I mean, opinions like a butthole, everybody's got one, and mine might happen to stink. I mean, who knows? I just know what I've been around, you know? So, but I don't, I think I would be doing a disservice to somebody to try to stroke their ego whenever it doesn't need to be stroked. And
Absolutely.
I don't
Well,
roll that way. I really don't.
it's helpful to actually, have that kind of critique.
Yeah,
It's very
exactly.
helpful. It helps you to grow.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't claim to be the damn world's best songwriter or world's best singer or world best performer, but I tend to pride myself to think that I know what I'm doing, and I know a lot of people that do it on a level that they got there for a reason. And I've had really
Yeah.
good counsel, and I've made a lot of expensive mistakes, but you know, in the long run, in the long run, you know what? I am where I am, and I am who I am, and I'm just gonna keep driving because that's what I do.
Chris, keep doing it. Keep doing it. I got something coming your way, literally. I'm going to be telling you on the back channel. That's why I keep saying you got roots here. Let's keep
All
that
right.
going. You got roots here because I'm growing them. So, and then Heather, Patriot Fest would be separate, but this person will be doing Patriot Fest with us. So he's a veteran, very well known in Texas. So I'm not going to get into too much about him because the show's about Chris Turner and his new song For the Country, which I have heard, and I promise you, it gave me chills. I
Love your
was like,
segue, Tracy.
whoa.
Do you have a way for us to hear it?
I am about to pull this up.
Yes.
So y'all see, just keep talking.
It's such a
and
good
let's get
song.
this on. Exactly, right?
And totally love the lyrics, love all of the lyrics, like your songs, your work. I can tell that you really spend a lot of time on.
Chris and
Yeah.
Heather are back. I love it. What do you think, Heather? Your mic's off. Let me get you. Out. Your mic. There you go.
Okay, well, I didn't hear it, but I have heard it all day. I've been listening to it, and
Aw.
it's amazing. No, I didn't hear it. I'm so sorry. It didn't come through on my end. Whatever.
Did
I
it
was
come through for you, Tara?
watching you guys kind of move around, so I was like, okay, something's going on. So I
No,
wow.
I faked it until I made it. I thought it was just because we couldn't hear it. I didn't hear it either on my side.
Are
okay,
you
I was
kidding me?
like, okay, yeah. I don't think
Tricks of the
anybody heard
trade,
it.
man.
Hold
It's like,
on.
hey,
Hold
get in
on.
where you
Hold on.
fit
Hold
in.
on.
Okay.
All right.
All the more reason we leave it a mystery and then just go to iTunes and download it.
Yeah, they can.
Well, I mean, I can.
$4.99. I mean, you'll spend that
Can
on
you
a
hear
pack.
this?
That's cheaper than a pack of cigarettes, man.
I'm telling you. Okay, no. Okay. Okay, there.
Got a set of tags and a rucksack, and they shipped him to the Middle East. 2 tours in the desert sun, man, he seen a thing or two. When I asked him why he went and risked his life, he said, "You do what you gotta do." I did it for the country, didn't do it for the money. I did it for the hometown.
Yeah, it's all muffled.
Hey, just go ahead and stop it. Like it's not really coming through too well.
Yeah.
It's really not. Let's see. Let's just try it one more time. Let's try it from this end.
There you go, Heather.
Can you hear it better?
You do the old school.
Okay.
Yeah, the frequency's a little bit too high. It's blurring the music out of it. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Okay.
Everybody,
Yeah.
it's down
Go
at
to
the
iTunes
bottom.
and go down to iTunes and pre-sale it, man. I
Yeah,
looked
go-
earlier today, man, and
That's what I did.
It's creeping up the charts. I'm really excited about it.
Well, iTunes, as I've got it scrolling across right now for those that are watching and those that will come back and those that will be on a podcast. iTunes, go to your Apple. If you have an Apple phone or if you have an Android, go to your store on your Android. Go for your music and check out For the Country by Chris Turner. But don't just listen. Unless you add that to a playlist, that artist does not get credit. Please add music to your playlist. You're supporting a veteran. More than that, that song, that is why we tried 3 times, I think, to like make sure you got that out. I have a question, Chris. That 3rd time, you didn't hear your song?
No, I heard it. It was just coming through muffled. It was coming through muffled and
Okay.
blurred. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all
fine.
good. It ain't no big deal, man. Hey,
No,
I had fun being
it
here
is.
with you,
It's
ladies. I
all
appreciate you
good.
having
It's
me.
all good.
Maybe
We
we
got
can
you.
piece that in at the beginning or the end of the of our recording. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, we can do that. Production.
Problem solved.
Everybody's sick. So it's like I can do all this, and that's what I was doing last minute was all the production and everything too, because I didn't know until last minute. But we're able to get it
You know
out.
what's really odd, man? Whenever all that stuff happened with Trump this weekend, I
Yeah.
was sitting there and you know that big fist pump that he gave, and it's like the most
Yeah.
iconic photo in America right now.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
The one thing I thought about is like the lines from that song is like, when I asked him why he went and risked his life, he said, "You do what you got to do." He did it for the country. He didn't do it for the money. I mean, it just like it all hit. I'm like, it's crazy. Like I said, man, there's a song for everybody, and there's a song that
Yeah.
steps in. I mean, and it's so true.
Well, For the Country, listen, I am telling you, add it to your playlist. It is Chris Turner music on every platform you can find. You can find his music. What I want you to find is For the Country, which is out. And then soon he is releasing a few more songs that he's collabed with. See, I say it too, Turner. Maybe it's the Tennesseans. I don't know. But
I'm trying to think about how I say it here in Texas.
how do y'all say it?
I don't know.
I say, yeah,
I guess
we collab.
Collab. I don't know. Collab. I don't know.
I don't say collaborate.
That'll be a special way we Texans say that. I don't know.
Collaborate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeehaw. There you go. No, we just want to make sure that we get your music out. And Chris, Patriot Fest, when it comes in Heather, between Salado calling, Arlington, Texas, and that's a big one. The Austin Expo, we have a band that she's a police officer. She's just retired. And then obviously we have a lot of artists within Texas already, but the ones that I want to come out of Tennessee, I'm not going to sit here and name because I have too many friends in the industry. And so, and a lot of times it's not my choice. So we got to remember that too. But remember, I came out there, Chris, because I was doing an event. And then I was able to choose the artist for this event. And I don't believe that everyone understood that by going and playing at that event, because of who they are and what they do and what just happened with them is huge. So I'm going to get them on. But we did end up getting Craig Wayne Boyd from The Voice, and he came and his child came with him and actually sang the anthem with him, and then he played in the concert area that we had. It went the whole time during an honor mission that was a ruck, a walk, or you can run. And so they are part of the partners of Gold Star Family Foundation, but they are based in Tennessee and they do things in Texas. So I am with them. So I do want to be able to get a hold of you, and I hope you're in town. It's near Mother's Day. It's about the same time frame, I think, that you and I went in Tennessee. That was a fun night, y'all.
CWB, man. He's one of the biggest hearted fellas in town, man. I love him. I've known him for years. He's a great dude, and I'm happy to see that you guys got connected because he's a freaking amazing talent. He really is.
Which person? I brought up too many.
Craig Wayne
Who?
Boy. We know him
yes.
we know him as CWB in town.
Okay. I just say Craig, but
yeah.
I've got pictures of him in here, but we won't pull him up to the front right now. It's about you. But yes, he came out and grabbed actually a very young guy, and amazing. You know, the 28th, by the way, Turner, is Scotty Hastings is playing the Grand Ole Opry. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's right. He's making his debut that day. Yeah.
He
and
is.
Oddly enough, Sal is on the show with me, and Sal made his debut about 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool, man. Because all these guys that we come up with through town, I told Sal and told Scotty, I'm like, you guys aren't just winning for you, man. You're winning for all of us.
Right.
You know, I mean, we all came up together, and to see our boys getting up there and doing what they do, you gotta throw a pound on your chest, man, because it's like, and that's the weird thing is like now I'm at the level in town to where I'm seeing people that I came up with, they're graduating. Like I'm seeing guys that I wrote song with getting number ones and getting record deals, and people that I've written with coming up, and they're on tour with
That's
Jelly
so
Roll,
encouraging.
and it's I was scrolling through my feed the other day on Instagram, and I'm a huge Riley Green fan. I love Riley Green, and I was sitting there and I said, wait a minute, that looks familiar. I looked up, and his lead guitar player is Chuck Diaz, and Chuck started playing for me when I first moved to town. And I hit Chuck up, and I was like, dude, why didn't you tell me you was on the road with Riley? He was like, man, I've been too busy to text anybody. So, I mean, it's just funny, man. And, you start, and I'm glad because it shows me that, I wrote a song called The Love You Giveaway, but the key line in that song is like, you're only as strong as the company you keep. And it shows me that I've kept pretty strong company. It's really cool to see people. It's really cool to see people that I come to town with, and now we're all graduating. So it's really cool.
It really is, Turner. So for me, I have to bring up like Doc, Turner, Brian. How's Brian doing out there? Heroes Den is actually opening back up because when I came out with my little brother, what happened? They had to shut down for a little while there in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Well, they shut down and they built this new location because it's going to be Heroes Den combined with Post 12206. So they'll have all the VFW post meetings there. And that's actually the home post for 12206, but it's also Heroes Den owned by Sean. So yeah, and that's what we're doing Friday is the grand opening for it. So I'm pretty stoked about it. They did a great job with it too.
I can't wait to see it. I really can't. That's my stomping grounds. Literally, like Adam went to elementary school there in Smyrna, Tennessee. So I'm talking about like literally that's my little area there, Heather, that they're talking about. It used to be like really small there in Smyrna, Murfreesboro area of Tennessee, just north of Nashville, right, Chris?
Yeah.
And you go back now and it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
Big. It's big, but it still has that small town in it. So Heroes Den when I was looking for, just like Heather's done this, when we're looking for who's in the area and like what's going on and what are we going to get involved with, that's how I ran into Brian Romans and Heroes Den, and he let me know that right now, but in the future it's coming back. And I was like, all right, I need you to bring it back because I'm ready. I finally got, I've been battling all sorts of things. I do have one more thing to battle, but Heather and I
Oh,
are,
and Brian Romans is part of Label 22 also. He's a chief
he
operating
is.
officer, and he works with me as far as management goes on day-to-day stuff. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's really cool that it's
That is
just a
so
bunch of
amazing.
Marines, a bunch of veterans just doing our thing, man. It's really cool.
It is. And I wasn't going to say his last name or anything, so I'm glad you did because I didn't want to put anything out without without talking to him. But
No, he can
he
cuss
can
me out.
hang.
It's all good. It won't be the first time.
All right.
That's what
Well,
Marines do,
Brian
man. We sue
Rowan.
each other in the backside, and then we apologize later. That's what
All
we
right.
do.
I've talked to him. Him and I haven't met in person, but we literally on the phone. And then Doc, and then the journey came that. So I've been to Tennessee twice now, and then I got to see you the last time I was there. I had just finished that organization. I don't know. Did I call you, Chris, to ask if you could play the anthem or anything there?
What organization was it?
Well, it was out in Franklin, Tennessee.
You may have called. Yeah, I think you did call me, and I told you that if you could find somebody else to do the anthem, I would be greatly appreciative of it. But if you could not, I would understand.
Yeah.
I've sang the anthem at a bunch of events, and that's one song that intimidates me every time I get ready to do it.
I'm telling you, I know that feeling too. Yeah. Like you don't want to mess that up, and it's it's like
I've seen somebody sing the first verse over and over and over again just to get through 3 minutes of it, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. No, we have Doc out there. I'm very grateful to him too. We have a lot of good people that are gonna end up at Hero Stock, but I started talking to Steiner and I'm like, look, we're doing Patriot Fest. So Patriot Fest is going to go into Texas and Tennessee. And so on the back channels, Turner, you talked to you about something, but when you go out and you're playing there at Hero Stock, Phil that just popped in, the volunteer coordinator for Gold Star Family Foundation and Fallen Heroes National Foundation, is part of the show under Patriots Inside the Wire. Thank you, Brent. I see your message there. He wants to help promote it for everybody. They're like,
yay,
get the Patriot Fest going. So I'm saying Lubbock,
working on it.
Lubbock, Salado, Arlington, Conroe.
Connections.
Yeah.
We really would love to hear from other veterans,
people. Let us know.
Patriots, musicians. We would like to share your music and support you and have a special event we're calling Patriot Fest to spread the love of music and encourage everyone to just keep living your best life.
Right.
And that's kind of what, after having lost my son in the line of duty, has, my greatest goal and hope for myself is just that I can just keep being inspired every day to do good things for myself, to live my best life. And creating music and all the other stuff I do really helps me so much. And so I encourage all of our listeners out there to try to connect something, artistic. I recommend. I'm an art teacher, can't help it, and musician. What am I going to do with myself? I'm totally right brained. I'm sure Chris can attest to the creative right brain syndrome.
That's why I stay up all late.
Getting caught up in the good stuff,
And I think I got a little bit too much of it because
so therapeutic.
Whenever I'm in music, man, I get tunnel vision.
What keeps you? Yeah, what keeps you focused on like writing music and things like that?
Something else in the Marine Corps, man. You figure out what your job is, right?
Yeah.
But we're always taught, you see the hill, you take the hill. And that's just the way I'm trained. You put on blinders on. It's like, okay, I got load in at this time. We're doing this show. This is our set list. This is catering. This is where we're going after this. We got to load out. Then we got to be down here. And everything's laid out. And it's just like, it's a schedule. It's a training schedule.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, whenever I'm writing, I'm like, okay, well, I got 12 songs I got to write. That means I got to write 50. And then if I still don't have a good 12 songs that I got to write, and if mine still stink, I'm still going to pitch it to the town to find out if anybody can beat what I wrote. Because I'm not such a narcissistic artist or a writer to where I have to cut my own material. I write it,
Right.
but like I said, I'm a fan of the song. And if I find a song that beats what I've written, I'll cut it all day long.
It sounds like you have a good team too.
Yeah.
That you write with. You mentioned a lot of folks that different
Yeah.
folks that you've written with.
And it's really cool, man. I've wrote with a lot of my heroes and people I grew up listening to. You know.
Oh my gosh, I love that for
I
you.
mean, yeah, it's like my song "Texas" was written by a fellow named Casey Beathard, who wrote countless number ones for Kenny Chesney on his No Shoes record. You know,
Oh,
and
nice.
that was like my anthem, man. I mean, that was it's just like I blared that record, and then I come to town and I'm writing with these guys, you know, and it's
Awesome.
and then, you know, for me to go out and play shows with Cody Johnson and Tracy Lawrence and Aaron Tippin and Daryl Worley, and, you know, just to be there, Trent Tomlinson, it's just really cool. You know, I never thought that coming from a town with two red lights, a Hardee's, and a Piggly Wiggly that I would get up here and actually be working amongst the guys who changed my life. So it's really cool.
That's
very
pretty
surreal.
amazing.
Yeah.
Chris, I know all about Piggly Wiggly. Those are in Tennessee. So there's not one here in Texas. So I see Heather's face. Like when you mentioned it, it's like, so Piggly Wiggly is a chain of the supermarkets. Like here we have HEB.
Right. I've heard of them for sure.
Yeah. So Piggly Wiggly is a grocery store you can go into.
Yeah.
I got a lot. Everybody's got stories about Piggly Wiggly or Waffle House. There's always a Waffle House story. Who's got a Waffle House story?
Oh yeah, I've got some of those.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's do the Waffle House story.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh, we are? Okay.
I got mine. I wrote a song about it. All you gotta do
Well,
is check it
tell us
out.
what it's about. Tell us what it's about, Chris.
My song? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Anything like
So
that.
when we're on the road, we get done loading out at about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're all hungry because we done put in like a 10-hour day. A lot of people think it's like show up, play, and go home, right? You got load in, you got load out, you got sound check, and all that stuff.
You got to decompress.
So when we get done, we were in Simpsonville, South Carolina, believe it or not. We pull at the top of this Waffle House because it was sitting in a bowl, oddly enough, no pun intended. And we were sitting there, and at the bottom of this hill was this guy. This was like 2013, I think it was. Man, had a flip phone, high water blue jeans, a 1983 Toyota Corolla, and a fireman pager. And I looked at and his fireman pager was going off, and he was sitting there chatting on that daggone flip phone. I looked at my drummer at that time, and I was like, man, that's different. He's like, yeah, that's really different. So we walked in and we sat down, and 5 minutes later, the doorbell rang, and this dude walked in, and he sat in this corner booth, and he's still yatting on that flip phone, and then he sits in the booth, and he closes up like he's the man, like, hey, I just got done with my phone call, puts it in his pocket, right? I looked at my guitar player, I was like, dude's got some issues. You know, he's proud of that flip phone, he's proud of them high waters and that Toyota Corolla. And I kid you not, man, it wasn't 5 minutes later, the doorbell rang again. And these two chicks that looked like they just walked out of Sports Illustrated went back to this corner booth. He had one on one side, one on the other, and they started making out. And I looked at my drummer and my guitar player. I said, that song is wrote when we get back to Nashville. Yeah. And you know, one of the lines in it is like, I got a DVR full of Duck Dynasty, right? So we was playing it live at a show that I was doing with Uncle Si, and he heard it. And
I
me and
love
Si
Uncle
became
Si.
really great friends.
That's
and
awesome.
every
Oh my
time
God.
I was actually coming to
life of
Texas
the
last
song.
year. I was coming down through there, and I hit Si up. I was like, hey, man, we're coming down through West Monroe and Shreveport. It's like, you at home? He's like, yeah, stop by the house. So we stopped by there. We went and got something to eat, and we hung out, and then we went back and played guitar. And he's like, hey, Chris, play that Waffle House song. I was like, you got it, Uncle Si. So we sat there and we played, and then we left there and we went to Shreveport, and then we ended up in Houston. So
There you go.
it was really cool.
Is the song called Waffle House literally? How do they look it up?
So here's the deal. I wrote the song, called it Waffle House. Went to Waffle House to try to get like some kind of backing or endorsement for it. And they said, well, that's copyright infringement. I was like,
What?
You can't copyright a song title.
Man.
No, they said it was trademark infringement. I was like, it's not trademark involved in it. I was like, and he's like, well, you can't use it. So I called it Take You Out, and I put Waffle House in parentheses.
There
And
you
that's on
go.
Spotify, Apple Music. It's on YouTube. I mean, you can find it anywhere. And we
Take
shot the
Alright,
video here in
everybody.
Nashville. It's pretty
Take
cool.
you out, Waffle House.
That's right.
Check it out.
It's really
I'm
cool.
gonna actually check it out. I ended up at a Waffle House recently at the Texas Regional Radio Music Awards. So that's a mouthful. So I'm like, Texas Regional Radio Music Awards. That, that's part of my voice. And there were so many shows. It was 3 days, and it was unbelievable just being there and what was going on. That third night, when everybody's like still trying to hang after this show, and then you've already had an after the show play and like having a couple drinks. And I just looked and I said, y'all, is there a Waffle House near here anywhere? Because I did not live in that area. And they were like, actually, there is one around the corner. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm hungry. I've been here for 3 days and I'm going to go eat instead of hanging out. So I try to get some sleep. Now, I ended up at that Waffle House and I walked in and went, oh my goodness, I totally forgot the feelings of Waffle House. But my biggest Waffle House story is about in Georgia after my son was killed, and going there with multiple veterans, multiple MCs that ride. And we just all went rambling into this Waffle House. And I mean, just filled it, packed, you name it. And it was almost like Flo's Diner. It's like they all knew each other so well. It reminds me of Kiss My Grits, from Flo. So the lady that was waitressing. And so that memory will always be with me as a good one. But I'll stop with mine because we're on a G-rated show. Not that anything X-rated happened. I'm just saying there's a lot that happens at a Waffle House. I remember telling my niece was driving up in the car and some guy in the parking lot yelling at her. And I'm like, no, you don't do that. Like, don't talk back. Just be like, go. And as we're walking out, he's going. This man keeps talking. And she's like, at that time, she's underage. So I turned around. I'm trying to remember what I said to him, but I literally turned around and said, dude, you better back the beep up. And I don't know what else, honestly. I kind of blank out when I went into that. And it's like defense mode is what it is, because they were just doing a lot of what people would think is construction calling on women or whatever. But I was like, And we were in Columbia, and it's the Waffle House there. And I was like, dude, you're not going to do it. You're going to have to come through me. And she's like, why did you do that? Why? You sounded mean. I'm like, no, you can't go up to men in a parking lot at a Waffle House. So I am teaching you that actually what they're talking about when they were talking to you, they weren't talking to you about a subject that you'd want to sit there and chit chat about. It was a whole different thing. So Waffle House, man, if those walls could talk, right? There's a song.
Kidding. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those walls, they can talk.
Hello, walls.
Hello, walls. Hi, we got another song on. We got it brewing. Yeah. Chris, I have a question.
Yes.
And I think I've asked, and I know Heather too. Every artist that I personally know, will you do a Gold Star Mom song? Literally. And I'm like, you can use anything of Sergeant Two Step. I'm sure Heather would say the same thing. If you want to use anything about Smitty. Ironically, listen, y'all out there, we're both Gold Star Moms. Here's what's weird. Smitty, her son, Two Step is mine. Both love to sing. Both built, if you looked at their eyes, the blue, those boys were one in the same.
I was just thinking about how Caleb, he just idolized all of he would have called you a hero, Chris. Mm-hmm. He would have called you a hero. And it's just so beautiful to be able to connect with folks that have walked the path of the hero, and And I don't know, I kind of get to kind of live a little bit vicariously through you a little bit, sitting here. But just, because I don't get to have, and I won't get to have that experience of getting to sit across the screen from my son and my hero. You can be my hero today. And I'm so grateful to get to meet you, to hear your music,
Pleasure's all mine.
Caleb
I appreciate it.
would have been so happy to. Caleb loved country music. That was his in fact, I kind of was more, like Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, and Caleb was like, man, he was always listening to the country music, and man, he knew all the lyrics and he was singing them, and he had such a beautiful voice. So it is very, very special to me to be able to sit here and
Make no
talk
mistake,
about music and hear about your
I
service.
love country music, and I cut my teeth in country music. But you talking about how you love Bob Dylan? I love Bob Dylan. You know what one of my
Yes,
favorite
sir.
songs right now is? Right now,
What?
"Stick Season" by Noah Kahan.
Oh,
Love that
wow.
song.
Okay.
And then the new M0MS song, Houdini, freaking
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, there's
Amazing
some
song.
really great. I mean,
Yeah.
Like I said, man,
a fan of everything.
art is art, man, and I
Yep.
love seeing different styles of paintings, man. And
Yeah, it's
seriously, I love all music.
Yeah.
I do.
But country music's where I choose to tell my story.
Right.
Love it.
Well, Chris,
Love that.
so we had a guest recently, Brooks Herring, and I have one of his songs we want you to hear. Brooks is out of Nashville,
Yeah.
and great guy. How well do you know him? You know him?
Brooks and I have chatted. We've been trying to get together and write for 6 months, in his schedule and my schedule. But
I know.
yeah, he's a great dude, man. I love Brooks to death.
Yeah, he is wonderful. He was on the Wednesday show, and he has 3 of them, and he said to pick. But remember, everybody out there, from Patriots Inside the Wire, to remember to, follow us, to stay up with what's going on. Go to iTunes, your Apple playlist, download it for Chris Turner, For the Country. This song, you need to hear it. I want you to put it on your playlist, and I promise you, you're not only helping a veteran in the veteran world that we all say, how do we help? Well, I'm telling you, go there and you can help. That's how you help. So
And
For
it's
the
kick-ass
Country,
music.
exactly. So For the Country, I want you to hear that. Go to Apple and add it to your playlist. Don't just listen. That's my point. And I can't wait for everyone else to hear it, because I know they're going to have goosebumps. I have 3 here, and you know him. So Coming Home, and I know what it's about. The Good Parts, or One Hell of a Woman.
I want to hear "Coming Home."
I knew you'd pick that. All right. This is Coming Home by Brooks Herring out of Nashville, Tennessee. He has been on the road a lot, and he sent us some songs. I told him about Turner. I told him about Patriot Fest, and we started talking, and he said, hey, here's 3 songs I want you to throw out there, because I've been on the road so much I can't get to my buddies like you've been trying to get to him to songwrite. So here you go.
I love it.
Brooks, he has chosen Coming Home. So Turner, here we go. It is Brooks Herring. He is a veteran.
Baby, I won't say a word. I don't want to wake you when I go. Gonna kiss my baby girl. She's gonna miss me, yeah, I know. If I end up gone forever, just know I'll always love you so. I'll go quietly tonight, but soon you'll hear me coming home. You hear me coming home. Some things I don't understand.
but I'm following my soul. And if I end up gone forever, just know I'll always love you so. I'll go quietly tonight, but soon you'll hear me coming home. You'll hear me coming home. At home, in the morning when you wake, and I'm gone, and I'm half a world away. I'll be back before you know it. See you later, don't lose sleep. You can see me when you're dreaming. I'll be watching quietly. But if I end up gone forever, just know I'll always love you so. I'll go quietly tonight, but soon you'll hear me coming home. You hear me coming.
Coming home. Turner, are you okay, Heather? You take a minute. Take a minute. I know. Ironically, Turner, that's the only one I didn't play because I think I knew. I just saw the words, and so he and I, when we were together, we did One Hell of a Woman because when I was asked which one, I thought, okay, I bet you One Hell of a Woman isn't going to get me right here.
Wow.
But that Coming Home song is also like you're talking about. Like it's great. Brooks Herring, another veteran.
Brooks, man. He's
So
a
powerful. And you know what, as a Gold Star mom, I have looked for songs to help me process this grief.
Yeah, there's
So,
Brooks Herring.
Thank you guys so much for what you guys do.
Thank you, Heather and Smitty, who's serving. We will not forget Smitty. Smitty, check, everybody's a lot going on. We are making a lot of changes. So although we might cry, we keep on fighting. We are warriors. And we will make sure that we make changes that need to happen. There's changes that need to happen in this country, right? So
it's just, we've got to spread human kindness and empathy. We have to show people how it's done.
Yes.
We have to do that as a community. We have to do that as, connecting as brothers, sisters, patriots. I love what you guys are doing, riding together, connecting. That's got to be so powerful and healing. And then, like I said, like all the rest of us get to benefit, because I need these songs.
And Brooks,
there's a lot of people
Brooks
need to
is a
hear
Carolina boy too. Brooks is from South Carolina also. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he is. He was telling me about that. You know that his wife, she's been serving for 18 years.
No.
She's still active. So it's
That's
him
amazing.
Between being on tour and kids but there's a whole episode, everyone. So if you want to know more about Brooks Herring, go check out Patriots Inside the Wire on YouTube. It's easy for you. I leave them on the page. If you're on Facebook, Patriots Inside the Wire. You can find us on Spotify, Apple. Just like Chris Turner, you can find his music. You'll still find our show. So anything we have on here, there is one labeled Brooks Herring. You can check that out. But Chris, to me, tonight is about Chris Turner and For the Country, that song, the timing of it, and what you just talked about, and that fist going up like that. I heard that song, and I was like, wow. I was not going to send you back a message because it was a Sunday, and we were all chilling, and I was like, I just listened to it, and I went, oh, man. So I was like, I just sent him a picture and say, yeah, that's amazing.
And that's how I feel too. Like with all the advocacy work that I've been doing, like I've served my community as a teacher for 21 years, and here I am, sticking my neck out for the rest of our service members to make sure that they're protected on their own territory.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for,
Others.
it's what it feels the best. It feels the best. It's the most healing thing that you can do, is to step out of your own box and help somebody else, and to cherish and protect life and hold
Sure.
it here. And the rest of the heart and soul of our country, the people are what matters. We've got to take care of each other and treat each other right, show human kindness and empathy. It's the heart of the Smitty check. It's just making sure that you take care of your battle brother. I don't know what they call it in the Marines, what you guys like
Battle brother, sister, devil dog.
We just call them devil dogs and our brothers.
Devil dogs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
I love
I've always
it.
been told, my papa told me when I was younger, he's like, Chris, you know what? When you get ready to claim your dirt, if you can realize and look back on your life and realize that you made the world a little bit better than what you found it, that's what it's all about.
I love it.
Don't have to be much.
It's a good
Just
life.
if you left it better than the way you found it, then you did your job for the next generation.
Yes. You know what I say now is being uncomfortable is where I should be. Being comfortable means I'm not doing what I need to be doing. So to keep moving forward on the two-step facts, we got the Smitty check.
Yeah.
The two-step fact, Heather knows, was federal. It got pushed out, and then hopefully with what's happening, I just go straight back to federal instead of state to state. That's my goal. But there are a lot of things that we need to do to advocate for all of us. So all of us, meaning veterans are in the area, and then you got your Gold Star families in the area. And
we can support each other.
Right. And I don't mean like just the wife and kids. A lot of them don't. They go in so young. It's like, Chris, were you married when you joined the military?
No.
And most of them are not. So,
and if I would have stayed in, I wouldn't have got married.
Yeah.
I just don't think that. I think it's hard, especially in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard on anybody to try to have a relationship, especially if you're being deployed, and to try to get married and have a family. I mean, at the time, I probably would have, but looking back on it, my older self versus my younger self, I don't know that I would have even entertained the idea of marriage at all if I was in the military, because I think from the active duty standpoint, I think that's selfish to try to drag somebody into it. Because in the Marine Corps, it is you think touring for music is bad? I mean, at least you get to come home 3 days a week. I mean, you're in country. You may not come home for a year. And then you're leaving a wife and kids behind.
The truth.
But no.
Adam was deployed. Yeah, Adam was deployed 18 months, y'all. He was deployed 18 months, got stuck in Iraq because of stop loss, stop pay. I can't say under which presidency or anything because I don't want to get under the guidelines we've got going on. So, but just I'm only giving information here. There is something that happened.
Even though I wasn't a combat Marine, I was deployed. It's a permanent duty station. I was in Okinawa for a year, but whenever you're there for a year, you can't fly home. You can't fly home until you not re-enlist, but until you decide to extend your stay there, or you get ready to fly back home. If you decide to extend on the island, you can take 30 days leave and come home. But you're there for 12 months. And it's a completely different time zone. And it's, I mean.
This was OIF and OEF. So Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. He got caught in between those two. So I thought that was the worst moment of life for my child, not me, the things that have happened. And then I had an inkling that I knew something was about to happen. And then it did happen. The worst thing in the world was losing him. It wasn't what I thought. Now, him being deployed and like my stomach still hurts from it because it's like, you don't know. And my kid does not listen to me in this. Now, he listened to everything else, but he's a fighter. And I think I made him like too tough. I made him into that fighter. And he was like, I'm going infantry. I'm going all the way if I'm doing this. So if I'm doing it, Mom, I'm doing it. Like, I'm going out on missions, and I'm like, son, please. Just like
Anything worth doing is worth doing right, man.
Yeah.
you sound just like him.
Well, hey, Tracy, we are right here at the little
The
past
mark.
the top of that hour there, but I was just going to ask Chris if he had any last
Yeah.
words of wisdom or encouragement that he would like to share.
Oh, what
We'd
I
love
want
to
to
have
be
him
read, what
here.
I'd want to be read in my eulogy and put etched in stone.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, man. I think if there's anything that I got to tell anybody, whether it's veterans or first responders or just American civilians, don't ever sell yourself short, man. Life is way too short, and if you want something bad enough, go grab it, because you will become your own worst enemy if you don't.
Amen.
That's what I say.
Beautiful.
You know, I mean, if you don't reach for the stars, you'll never know how far you can fly.
That's right.
Period.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to play our exit song here, and then we'll be right back. We have to play this out. Take a listen. You'll hear something at the end, Turner. We got to get that voice up, and it's what I call a cadence, and I don't hear it in it.
Thank you for watching another episode of Patriots Inside the Wire, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two-Step. Help us broaden our reach. Like, subscribe, and share.
There you have it, folks. The little brother of my son, Two-Step. He's like, my brother, Adam Two-Step. And what he was doing was the cadence. He was trying to do like a cadence theme. So we'd like to get a intro and an exit. Like we like to get songs like yours. And then we're going to combine some there with Smitty. I can see him sitting behind Heather there. And then we'll put in, we'll have like several things that we could do, like several intros. But I do want to hear that growl. Like listen, follow, and share. Like honor the fallen, honor our veterans. Let's do this. I don't cuss. I'm not going to say that word. But my whole point is, I think of cadence because I don't have a mean. Do I have a mean voice? I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. Do I? Heather's quiet. Maybe I do.
All right, Tracy.
Well, you know what, Turner? I do have something to tell you later on the back channel. But what I want to say most of all is thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for everything that you do. I will be seeing you very soon there in Tennessee. Everybody check out For the Country. Add it to your playlist. Go to Apple and check that out. And soon you will also have a new release coming out with Mr. Chris Turner, our veteran from the Marines. You know, I got to get that right. So take a look. Go check out Chris Turner and all that he's doing. And Hero Stock is coming. Hero Stock is right outside of Nashville in Lebanon, Tennessee. On that Hero Stock roster, I can tell you right now, you've got some legends, some people that are OGs that are in Nashville and have been doing this, and you don't want to miss that part. So even if you don't see a high-ranked name, I'm going to tell you right now, these individuals playing have been playing. They are great songwriters, singers, you name it. So Hero Stock, we'll be checking them out next week. Chris Turner is actually playing at Hero Stock as well. So August 3rd is Hero Stock. July 28th, we got Turner. And you're going to the Mockingbird to play there in Franklin, Tennessee. So I want to make sure that everybody keeps up with us and you can keep it up with the show while we leave. But Heather, it's been great. Another military mama.
Good to meet you, Heather. Thank y'all so
All right,
much.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, another military Monday. We did it, military money and mama. Military Monday. I love you, Heather.
Love you guys.
Chris, awesome. Stick by while I'm working here in the studio. Everyone out there, thank you for joining Patriots Inside the Wire. Join us again every Monday and Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Thank you.